Give me an A.
A.
Give me a Y.
Y.
Give me an S.
S.
Give me an H.
H.
Give me an I.
I.
Give me an A.
A.
What does that spell?
Tayshia. Yeah.
Wow. It took longer than I thought, but I would think it was worth the effect.
It's worth all the enthusiasm.
She deserves a
cheer.
Yeah. Yes.
Which is what we just gave her. So.
Yes. Wow. I say this every week, but what a week.
I mean, it's been just a week in the world and a week in the Bachelor Nation.
Yes. And this evening felt like a weekend of itself with this episode.
I know.
But in a very beautiful, exciting way.
I feel my hope is just restored. I feel excited for this journey.
Yes. I know I said on episode 3 that I felt revived and restored.
But that's in a different way.
That was different. This
episode
is another
3
level.
was like, we are
Excited
thriving off
again.
the drama.
Yeah.
And this is like,
hope.
I believe in The Bachelor.
I felt like this episode, the scales fell from our eyes about a lot of these men. And I'm excited to talk about it with you, Beth.
I'm excited to talk about it too, because I feel like one of the major things in this episode was we just got so much of a different perspective of all these men who are already awesome to begin with, but they've all come alive in new ways.
I'm seeing depth.
Multifaceted? I'm seeing excitement from the guys.
I'm seeing men.
Men.
Oof.
They are men. And they were already a good group of guys, but the way that Tayshia, just her whole being, she's just bringing out the best in them.
I was going to say, this is literally what I was about to say. I was like, she's bringing out the best in everyone.
She really is.
I feel like, I'll probably touch on this again later, but I feel like Tayshia is like the person you want to host a really chill but slamming girls' night in.
Yes. And she's the kind of person that she would invite everybody.
Yes.
No one would feel left out. And when you got there, she would make you feel so welcomed and excited. And I bet she would have a really cute house.
Always. And great snacks, but healthy and also indulgent. Like both options.
Yes.
She's going to have some fruit and veggie like on a plate, but she's also going to have like popcorn and chocolate.
Yeah, because she's a real gal.
Yeah.
Like everything about her is so genuine.
Yes. I will point out the moment where I got that thought from, though, about it'll happen later. But
yeah, I know, because I have just like general thoughts and questions about just where this is headed, stuff about Tayshia, but I don't know if we should talk about that right now.
Yeah, I think it'll just come up over time.
Okay.
How has your week been since Friday?
I can't even believe Friday to Sunday feels so long.
Especially here in Georgia, just for context.
Yeah, in Georgia and just in general. We also had some friends in town this past weekend. And I feel like last week was really busy, so I don't even know what happened. Like, I left the weekend feeling more busy.
Yes.
But in a good way. It was all good stuff. But how was your week?
Good. Let's see. What happened? Well, the election's been going on.
Nothing.
That's been basically on my mind every single morning when I wake up is what's going on.
And if it's not, then I want to know your secrets.
Yeah.
Because
I just feel like in Georgia, and I feel like in everywhere in our country it's tense right now, but I feel like in Georgia it's just a little extra tense.
I would agree with that. I've been going out of my way to smile at everyone.
Yes.
That's not even a pat on the back to me. I'm just saying, like, I feel like I have to compensate.
A decent person right now.
Yeah.
Extra decent. What else happened? Well, this doesn't sound very momentous, but we cut down 2 trees at our house.
Oh, really?
We had to do it because of the storm that came through.
Oh, yeah.
Basically, that's what happened.
That happened too.
Yeah. So the storm. Yeah. What was Zeta.
Yeah.
Hurricane Zeta. So that we had to cut down 2 trees. I mean, I didn't do it. I was inside watching election results.
Can Cam have a chainsaw?
No, our landlord did it, but Cam was like watching.
Oh, okay.
He didn't do anything.
After recent incidents involving Cam and
sharp objects.
Yeah, I was wondering how you felt if he was the one using
I'm always
that
on edge
chainsaw.
around him and sharp objects.
That's understandable.
Because now we need to get an axe to chop up the tree. The tree's been chopped up, but it needs to be chopped down into smaller pieces. And we need to get an axe.
Are you gonna use it for firewood? Do you have a fire?
Yeah, we have a huge fire pit in the back.
Oh yeah, and
I know that. This wood isn't
that.
really good for indoor fire because of like the sap on it. But
Smoky.
we are fully prepared for bonfires for quite some time.
That's exciting.
So you should come over.
Okay. I
And
mean,
we'll have
I already
another
come
bonfire.
over a lot anyway,
Yeah.
but I'll just come over more.
Another bonfire.
S'mores.
Bonfire season. S'more season's almost always for me, but that's what's been going on. Not very momentous, except for obviously what's been going on in the world.
Sure.
And then library stuff has been wild and crazy, but I cannot get into that because I will literally talk for 30 minutes about my...
And our episodes are already long enough.
But long story short, my job is like my baby, and I love the library. And if you ever want to talk about library stuff, listeners, just give me a little chat. I love talking about it. No one's gonna do that.
So someone's like, I've been waiting to figure out who I can talk to about the library.
I will say this: my friend Kyle, his wife,
Kyle.
Kyle, we played Among Us
Yeah.
with. His wife, who is so sweet,
Why didn't she play?
she's just not a video gamer, but
Okay.
she was like sitting and checking in every once in a while and talking to us. But she was so sweet, and she was like asking me actively about library stuff, and I just thought that was so thoughtful.
That always makes you feel so good when someone actually seems interested about the thing you care about.
Yes, I need to work on that personally.
No, I feel like you're good at that.
I just feel like the way she did it was so authentic.
It was a Tayshia move.
Yeah, it was. I
Because
mean,
I
it was
feel like Tayshia is good at that.
much respect. I left being like, man, she didn't make me feel like a bad person at all, but I was like, man, I want to be more like her.
Aw, you left feeling
Yeah.
inspired.
Yes. Inspired, yes. Wow, thank you for helping me with words. Okay, so let's dive in. I will say this, we don't have a whole lot of Bachelor Nation news this week. There are some nitpicky things we could get into. I don't really want to.
Okay, let's not.
So all I have down, a big piece of news, that Tayshia hit 1 million followers.
Oh, yes.
on Instagram.
Yes, which I think you had mentioned on our
Yes.
Bachelor, our podcast Instagram.
Yeah, on the
at
stories.
Cabbage Batch Pod.
I do want to reiterate it because I think it's important and I want to draw attention to it, and here's why. Tayshia is the first Black contestant ever in the history of the Bachelor franchise, including like Rachel Lindsay and other favorites, that has ever hit 1 million followers on Instagram. And just to give you some context, people like Hannah Brown, and I think like JoJo's up there and Caitlin's up there.
Probably like Maddie Pruitt.
Yeah, I don't know how much Maddie Pruitt
I
has.
feel like she has a lot. I'm going to look.
But I do know, last time I checked, Hannah Brown had the most at 2.8 million.
That's crazy.
So, and I think Tyler Cameron's second in line for followers. But yay, Tayshia.
Yeah, Maddie has 1.8.
Okay, she's still a million behind Hannah Brown, though.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So, Tayshia hit 1 million followers. Yay, well deserved.
Yeah, you go, girl.
I mean, this is really, we're just behind. This should have happened a long time ago. But we are glad that it's happened.
Yes, we're happy it's happening for Tayshia.
We also, this is not technically Bachelor news, but we're just grieving in this time that Alex Trebek, the host of Jeopardy, unfortunately passed away. He had some sort of cancer, right?
Yeah, I think it was pancreatic cancer.
Yes, that
and
sounds
from what I
familiar.
understand, when you get pancreatic cancer, it's generally just not good
It's
news.
terminal,
Yeah,
basically. That's
Well,
what I've heard too.
He's brought many people so much joy.
I just feel like he is, and I don't want to say that Chris Harris and Alex Trebek are on the same level because they're just two different guys. I do think he is, if we're going to compare, he's like the Chris Harrison of game shows. Like,
Yes, I would
they
agree.
both have like sassy, petty moments.
So petty,
And
so sassy.
both in both situations, it works in their advantage and works very well.
yeah, it somehow makes them like more likable.
Yeah. They have different brands, but they have some similar characteristics. And He will be missed.
He will definitely be missed.
I mean, is Jeopardy even going to continue?
I just can't imagine who they would get to do it. I feel like they would have to just get someone that no one knows, right? Like they couldn't get someone famous.
I just feel like they just need to show reruns. There's so many reruns.
You're right. How many? Is Jeopardy broken out into seasons?
I have no idea, but I'm sure they have hundreds of episodes.
Yeah, maybe they should just do that.
I think they just need
If they started doing reruns right now, I bet they could not repeat episodes for 20 years.
Whatever Alex Trebek wanted for the series is what they need to do.
Okay, you're right. He deserves. I mean, he was that series.
If he wants them to continue, then we need to do it.
Right.
But if he's like, guys, just cut your losses. Like, let's just.
It's such a good show, though.
I know. But there's so many good reruns. But anyways, he will be missed. I want to take a moment to honor him.
Remember him.
Okay, so let's switch to something a little bit happier. What an episode this week.
This was just...
Beth, you saw how hype I was.
I was hype.
I felt like I was overwhelming everyone with my energy, but thank God y'all were welcoming. And
no, there's something about Tayshia that lights up the whole screen.
She lights up my life.
My whole life.
You light up my life.
What song is that
song?
again?
I don't know if those are the real words, but that's what
what it is now.
It's what it is now. So let's get to it.
Yes, let's start talking about this.
So we cut to the guys at the beginning. Tayshia's about to walk in. We get the guys before she walks in. I want to say that Riley was like, I just want someone kind and genuine. And I was like, isn't that everyone?
That's like the two most generic descriptions that you could ever think of.
Yeah, okay, fine.
I wonder where they took that from, too. Like, I don't know. That could have been about literally anybody.
But on the plus side, we get a shot of Bennett here. Bennett he's working a loafer look.
A loafer-less, or a socks-less loafer look, which is just, it can either go so good or so bad. And
it has to be styled correctly.
For him, it's just, he hits it out of the park.
And then he had a martini in his hand.
With 2 olives.
2 olives?
Yes,
good
I noticed
eye.
that. I mean, I just have a hawk eye for whenever Bennett is on screen.
Here's what you need to do. If you ever run into Bennett, like, make sure you're at a bar and just order his drink for him with the 2 olives.
But how do I know if it's a vodka martini or a gin martini?
You'll know. I just trust your instincts.
In the moment, I'll be able to decide.
Yeah. And then also he was
Or should I order his drink to myself?
No, send it to him.
Oh, but I was thinking like we're sitting next to each other at a bar. Drink. And then I order the drink and he looks over and he's like, oh, that's my drink too.
That's probably safer, actually. Let's do that.
Because if I ordered it to him, he would just be like, how do you know my drink? That's so weird.
Okay, you're right. Your way is cooler, as always. And then also, he was wearing his Clark Kent glasses.
Sorry, I was sipping my tea. But yeah, he was looking great. And he had some stubble. Did you see that? It was.
Oh, I did.
Oh, did I see that stubble?
I have another note for him later, but it's not here yet.
We could just make a whole podcast talking about his fashion.
You see that?
And his countenance.
He sent us the praise hands on Instagram the other day.
What?
Because you tagged him on a story.
So he basically flirted with me.
And he sent a praise hands emoji.
Wait.
I thought you saw it.
I'm shook. Because that was the story. If you guys don't follow us on Instagram, by the way, you really should. Like, I know
Cabbage Batch Pod.
I know it's kind of lame when people say stuff like that, but I think we actually post kind of funny stuff, and
we don't spam you. Like, we do regular stuff.
We did get some like major story dots the other day, but that's because I was taking a BuzzFeed quiz about which Bachelorette I was on Instagram on stories, and there's like an indicator where you could slide. Like, oh, I would give this person a rose or I wouldn't. And for Bennett, I slid it all the way.
Me too.
And so if he sent praise hands to that.
But I didn't tag him. You were smarter than me and tagged
I wanted him to see.
He sent praise hands. And I didn't know what to say back, so I just double tapped the praise hands.
Are you kidding me?
I double tapped the praise.
Are you kidding me?
It's not too late.
You took that away from me.
I didn't respond. You can still respond.
It's too late.
It's not too late.
Also, I'm married. It doesn't matter.
listen, if we tag him again, he most likely will respond again.
You're right. He's
we
like,
have a camaraderie now.
I posted that story and I noticed that he saw it within like 30 seconds of me posting.
Okay, so we just need to do this again, and I will make sure that you know.
Okay,
and you can
it's
respond.
not even like I have some like crush on him. I just want to talk to him because
I don't think that you have a crush on him.
He's my idol.
No, you guys would connect like on a friend level.
Yeah, I agree, and I think you would get along really well with Nate.
And I want to support you. I think you get along with Nate well too.
He definitely has a whole different lifestyle from us, but
I will say this: his style, like his sense of style, is what Cam like would like to dress like, but he doesn't know how. Like he talks about like he loves like loafers like that.
Yeah.
He loves that whole look, but well, first of all, we don't have a money pit,
and it's not practical. Like he's on roofs all day.
Yeah,
and Bennett's
he wants to change his job eventually, just so he can have like more of a sense of fashion.
I respect that. If there's a reason for a career change, that's it.
I can't judge because like I've never had to be in that scenario of like having to trade fashion for my job.
Yeah, I technically could wear whatever I want, but I work from home, so it's not really worth it.
Library.
Anyway.
Okay, I want to say one more thing.
Okay,
library fashion is very niche, and I think it's wonderful and beautiful, and I think it gives me a lot of freedom. That's all I have to say.
Okay, you heard it here first.
Okay, so let's get back to it. Sorry. So Tayshia walks in. Did you see what Easy did?
Yeah, he did like a double take.
He literally vocalized, "Oh my goodness." And his eyes like came out of his head.
Easy was saying and acting out how we all felt collectively in that moment.
Yes.
And even Chasen is speechless.
Yes.
He I feel like with what we've seen in the past, he's always keeps it close to the chest. But he was into it the second
I think all the men were into it.
They were like, who is this creature?
I put down Ivan was literally jumping in place.
Yeah, he was ecstatic. I've never seen him that animated before.
I feel like this is shade to Claire, but I don't mean it like this. We saw smiles that we've never seen before on this episode.
I legitimately never seen Bennett smile until this episode.
I've never seen,
not Bennett, Brendan.
Yes, and even if we had seen their smiles before, this was different.
It was radiant.
A different smile.
It's because Tayshia has such a radiant smile that you can't help but reciprocate.
Yeah, she's effervescent. Am I using that word correctly?
Yes.
Okay, great.
It's basically always correct in reference to Tayshia.
Okay. What I had to note here was that I know that the leads typically do like a toast on night one and stuff, but she kind of had to do like an intro.
I know, because
like a sweeping intro.
Yeah, and it's not like they had time to research her beforehand like they do with most people. They know who's coming on. So that was probably, I'm sure, interesting because for them, it's just like, if you don't know much about Bachelor Nation, that's just you meeting a random person for the first time.
But I think Easy clearly knew who she was.
You think?
Yeah, because if he said like, "Oh my goodness," I think he did know.
Oh, okay. I didn't think that at the time, but I guess that does make sense.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of them did, but because they didn't, I think a lot of these men clearly haven't watched the show, or I don't know, but I think Easy did. So we dive into Tayshia talking to the men.
Which,
we need to talk about this.
Yes,
you can say you.
Well, I was just gonna say they like all stand up, and
she's like, "Let's start the night."
And then like 7 of them rush towards her, which I would also have done had I been in there.
I want to note that like not only did that not happen with Claire, that's fine. I don't think this has ever happened.
I've
with
never
a lead
seen
on this
a
scale.
reaction like that. It was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
Like that was, and it wasn't even like they were trying to make some aggressive move. It was like a magnetic, like, I cannot help myself and I must speak with you.
What this might be partially because most of the men there, or all the men in the scene, have already been there for a while and they know that they need to kind of jump at things.
Maybe.
But I don't want to say it's mostly that. It's mostly that Tayshia is Tayshia.
Yeah, I did not get that vibe. I just thought they were all like, wow, this girl seems amazing right off the bat.
Tayshia is the girl next door.
And the thing is, she just doesn't even know it. It's like,
that's what makes it great.
I know. And it's not fair. It's like, how do you not?
I'm fine with it.
Well, I know. I mean, I'm just saying, like, how can that combination exist of she's so beautiful and so kind and there's such a catch, and then she still doesn't even know it, which makes her even more amazing.
I know. I could go on and
Is
on.
this becoming too much of a rant about how much we love Tayshia?
I mean, well, we're just going to be sprinkling it throughout, so just be ready.
Yeah, I'll try and cool it, but...
So Ivan and Tayshia talk, and their connection seems really sweet. Like, really sweet and, like, earnest.
Especially on Ivan's part. Not that Tayshia wasn't into it, but he was just so... almost, like,
Excited,
ahead of himself.
giddy.
Yeah, and he was stuttering, like, he was nervous or tripping over his words or whatever.
I think she dug it, though.
Oh yeah, I don't think she was not into it. I just don't think she was as into it as some of the other guys we'll see later.
Yeah.
But it was also her very first
bar.
conversation as soon as she got out of the limo. Or did she arrive in a limo? Yeah, she did. So
I agree. Like, there's conversations later that I think were a little bit stronger connection, but it was a great first convo.
yeah, it was super solid. And I'm sure she like was riding high off the fact that so many guys
I know, for real.
doctor.
I was riding high and I'm just watching.
Yeah.
I also want to know, after that, she talks to Riley. And before we get into that convo, I noticed that Tayshia likes to, with both Riley and Ivan, she was holding their hands.
It was so sweet.
Like, on the way to walk to their spot. I think that's really sweet and, like, a good move to, like, it's a good, do we have a spark type move.
Yes.
Without being too forward.
I agree.
And, like, it wasn't like finger lacing. It was just a little...
It's like almost like friendly and
yes, comforting.
Yeah. And I also was thinking, even when we were just seeing her talk with Ivan, it was very cool to know the majority of these men beforehand and see them interact with someone besides Tayshia and then compare that to their connection with Tayshia. It makes it even more interesting to watch, honestly.
I think so too. I think we're able to see, this setup has allowed us to see different sides of different guys, and I think that's interesting.
Yeah, and I mean, it's so clear that a bunch of them already have way better connections with her.
I think they're just more comfortable with her.
Yeah, she seems so easy to be around. So,
and not to say that, I think Claire is a warm person as well. They're just different.
I think Claire is warm, but it's almost like an overbearing, like, tell me everything about
intense.
you. Whereas Tayshia is very...
let's get to know each other.
Yeah, let's get to know each other. I'm chill, whatever.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
So her conversation with Riley, I
already didn't love Riley.
Yes, but I thought it was funny that he was like, where are you from? And she was like, I'm from Orange County. He's like, Orange County, California? And I was like, where else?
What other Orange County is there?
Yeah, I mean... I feel like
when you say Orange County, it's like saying LA, New York, Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know. I don't have much to say about this other than that I didn't sense much of a connection.
I think Riley thinks he's super cool. And like super...
He's allowed to feel that way.
And like, I'm just saying he definitely thinks he can put the moves on. And it's...
Well, he is an attorney, so he like has to be a good talker.
Yeah, which that's a whole other thing. Because I deal with attorneys all day, every day. But yeah, I think
also he's a malpractice defense attorney, so he has to defend people who've been, I guess, sued for malpractice.
Yeah, I think he said it was personal injury.
Okay,
which is like, or maybe I'm wrong, but I thought that's what he said. Or I know medical malpractice.
Yeah, that's what it was. Medical malpractice.
Okay. Yeah.
So he has to defend doctors.
Yeah, which seems shady to
that
me.
Seems
I've never
questionable to me.
I've never really worked with
I guess
those
someone's
types of
gotta
attorneys,
do it.
But that's like, sounds like it's barely a step up from what they call the ambulance chasers, which are the personal injury attorneys, which are like...
Yeah, the ones you see commercials
very
for.
frowned upon.
Yeah.
But...
anyways.
I'm not into it.
Quickly, we have Jordan C. in her talk, Blake in her talk. Blake, I'm over. I know he said this before.
He's just not even getting airtime anymore because it's just irrelevant.
I didn't like what he said, though. He was like, give me time to open up. And I feel like he was trying to convince her to keep him around. And
Yeah, not just trying to make a connection with
not
her.
just trying to make a genuine connection with her. He like had to get on his soapbox and be like, please give me time. And I
We just got here. Why are you
didn't
asking
like
me?
it.
That would be more appropriate to ask her if it was like final 6.
Or like ask her, how are you feeling?
Yeah, it's definitely all him based.
Yeah, I wasn't vibing. And then Jason, who we'll talk more about later, but he did say it's been an emotional roller coaster and he had already been thinking about going home, which I understand, and I do think what he did later is great and we'll talk about it. But I didn't like that he had to say that. Like,
What? Oh, like I was thinking about going home.
yeah, he was
but I
like
guess
literally,
I'll stay.
he said like literally 6 hours ago I was thinking about going home.
Yeah.
I was like, yikes.
I think if you're thinking about going home, then you should probably go home.
Well, I just thought that's probably not making her feel great, but we'll get more into that later.
Yeah, they have a more in-depth conversation about it.
And then we finally hear Brendan talk for like the first time. I mean, we've seen his beauty.
We have admired him from afar. We have noticed his great outfit choices, his curly hair,
Beautiful
his blue eyes,
olive skin.
his ethnic ambiguity.
I'm all here for it.
Which is all just a perfect combination that, frankly, was squandered in the first 3 to 4 episodes.
But now we hear him talk.
And he has a great voice.
I love it. He's so kind and so sweet.
I just want to, I want to hear what he has to say.
Also, this may seem kind of weird, but I kind of love Brendan's ears.
What?
They're really cute.
How did you even notice
They're
that?
like kind of big.
I feel like his hair covers his ears.
No, it doesn't. He has like a little fade
You're
on
like,
the side.
It doesn't. I know.
I just like an interesting like
Ear.
face feature. Like Cam has a really interesting nose, in my opinion, and he doesn't like it, but I think it's adorable.
I feel like when people mention, oh, this is the feature that I notice about people, or like you were saying, I notice like interesting features on people and I like that. I am not like that. I just take it in as a whole and I don't ever notice any of those individual things. Yeah.
I tend to like things that people feel insecure about themselves.
Oh, that's a great quality.
I think that makes them unique and interesting.
That's such a great quality.
Anyways, I just noticed his ears. I don't think they're like hot ears. I just thought they were cute.
Should he get his ears pierced to draw more attention to them?
I don't know. I think they're just doing great the way they are.
Okay. They're perfect as is.
And then we get to the breaking news. Brendan gets interrupted by Chris Harrison.
Cold. That's cold.
Did
Chris.
him dirty. This is not
Chris
the first.
is just doing people dirty left and right.
But I kind of liked Chris Harrison in this episode. We'll get more into that, but
Carrie, you're really into Chris Harrison recently.
no, just this episode. Last episode, he can.
Yeah, I guess you were kind of peeved at him.
No, this episode I was living for it. But he breaks the news that there's gonna be 4 new men, and we get 4 limo entrances.
Where did they find these men?
I'm convinced that they were on reserve. Like they.
Do they always have reserves? Because this goes.
I think they do. I do think that they have men on reserve
in case someone cancels last minute. I bet they had people on reserve also because of COVID.
Yeah.
And if some of the men who had arrived at the beginning ended up last minute not being able to come because of COVID, maybe that was these men.
Yeah. I think they were there.
Which is interesting to see men that technically like just didn't make the cut.
Yeah. Because I know that I've heard stories of people being like, I got cut like right before night 1.
Oh, that would be a dagger to the heart.
Yeah. So I think they've been there. So let's talk about.
Do you think they were at the resort?
Yeah. I do think that they were.
Just chilling for like 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, there's other ways it could have happened, but I feel like that's the easiest way.
Easiest.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe at the most they were already there for a week because they had to quarantine.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
I
am confused about some of the timeline of this. Like, when did Claire leave, and then when did Tayshia
I don't think we'll ever get a straight story about that.
Until they get out of their contracts.
Yeah. Let's talk about these 4 new men. So first we have Spencer. He's a water treatment engineer from La Jolla. California.
Don't know where it is.
It's
Is
like-
it near Orange County?
It's spelled like La Jolla, but I want to say it's La Jolla.
La
like-
Jolla.
I just feel like in
La
Span-
Jolla.
Okay, let's just say that. You said you had thoughts on him. That
I don't like him. I'm going to say it right
Why don't
now.
you-
He looked like he had just stuck the top of his head into a bucket of water.
Is that the only reason you don't like him?
No, I also just don't like his vibe. Okay. And yeah, I don't know. I don't like him. And that's my instinct. And as we go on to the episode, I think there's some more stuff that happens that I'm questionable about. I just didn't think he came off as very genuine.
Okay. I'm not like crazy about him, but I like him fine. I do think he is cute aside from the hair.
I almost feel the way about him that I felt about Blake when he walked out of the limo.
Really? That strongly?
Yeah, almost. Not as much.
Okay.
Like, I feel like a 10 of annoyance about Blake, and I feel like a 8.5 of annoyance about Spencer.
What I'll say is that like people like Ben and Zach C and Brendan are on another level from him.
Yes, complete. And Tayshia, I hold in such a high regard that... And Spencer almost has this thing of like he thinks he's cool, same as Riley, and then they get into it later, and that's just not gonna fly with me for Tayshia's amazing personality.
Okay, I think that's fair. I don't have enough to dislike him right now, but
Jury's still out. That's my initial impression.
Okay. I do want to say at this moment that do cut to the men again because he walks in and says, which one of you guys scared away Claire? And Bennett is working the sport jacket over the blazer over the shoulder look.
He's ready for the runway.
And he's ready for the runway.
I mean, literally.
Yeah.
Put him in a J. Crew catalog.
Yeah. We need him. Yeah. I almost wrote down Men's Warehouse, but that's an insult.
No, take it back.
I did. I deleted it from my notes.
Or don't ever let him hear that we said that.
Yeah, J. Crew GQ?
GQ 100%.
Okay.
He's definitely like already has enough clout to appear in like, you know, when the magazines have the very back cover, there's like a small story bio about someone.
Well, I don't know, but I'm trusting you.
Well, I'm just saying, I think a lot of magazines have that, and I think he could be in that. Also, the blue lights of the limo are blinding. They shined on like directly into the camera.
Like a filter or edit
and
it.
I was like, okay, where are we driving?
Guard your corneas, everyone.
Yeah, and it felt bad for the camera person. It's like staring into the sun through a mirror.
Bless him. Next we have Montel. He's 30. He's a gym owner from Boston, Massachusetts. He brought back the salmon jacket that was so the salmon jacket that was so prevalent in Hannah Brown's season that made it.
Didn't Easy wear a salmon jacket on the first night?
That's true, but like in Hannah Brown season, the salmon jacket was they wrote a song about the salmon.
It was like
jacket.
they were passing it around. Wait, was it one or?
It was one salmon jacket that they kept sharing.
I do distinctly remember Tyler C wearing it.
Yeah, I think it might have been his.
I totally think it was his.
I also want to note that Montel was wearing a WWJD bracelet.
Hey.
So just some context for him.
What would Jesus do?
What would Jesus do?
That's gonna be his compass as he
that bracelet
tries to win Tayshia's heart. Also, don't you think he looked like he was like 20?
Yeah, I thought I got like 24, but he's 30.
That's going to be advantageous for him when he is 50.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not that he looks bad.
Just young.
Yeah.
I think when you have like a rounder face,
which I have a
round face too.
And people think I'm in high school.
Yeah, I get like...
Even though I have a wedding ring and multiple tattoos.
When I tell people
and I'm 5'11".
You're tall equals young?
No, I mean, I'm saying like that would make me think that I wasn't young.
Oh.
I don't know.
So maybe when I get older, I'll be taller? Tall equals age?
I don't know.
Whenever I tell people, or people new that I meet, if it comes up like, where'd you go to school? Or where are you going to school? I'll be like, oh, I just finished my master's. And they'll be like, oh.
They're like, oh, I meant what, high school, but okay.
Yeah. Next we have Peter, 32. He's a real estate agent from Everett, Massachusetts. We don't really get much about him.
You got to have at least one real estate agent per season.
Yeah. Maybe he wants to be on Selling Sunset.
Sure.
Great show. Then lastly, we have Noah, who is, I believe, the baby of the season at 25. The youngest here.
Do you like him?
No, I don't care for him.
Yeah, his mustache has got to go.
Listen,
it's a TikTok thing, I feel like.
I like a good mustache. This was not one.
A good mustache, sure.
Yeah, this was not one. He's a registered travel nurse from Long Beach, California. I will say this.
What's a travel nurse?
Maybe like he goes to places who, like, maybe after like a storm or like a tragedy, and they serve.
I'm picturing someone who like uses going on medical trips to developing countries for vacation.
Yikes. I have lots of thoughts on that I cannot get into right now.
That's like
that's kind of what I thought
that I get.
That was my first thought, but I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Maybe I should give him the benefit of the doubt, but I feel like I can roast him just a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little.
I'm thinking that same thought. I do want to say, I mean, the stethoscope move is a good move.
Yeah.
Listening to someone's heartbeat, that's a good move.
Is it rude for me to say that, like, he's a travel nurse?
No.
Like,
well, what do you mean?
Like, he's not even a doctor.
But he uses a stethoscope.
Yeah, I know. It's just like...
But here's the thing. If he was a girl and a nurse, it wouldn't be funny.
I know. I mean, it would still be kind of like, okay.
No, I disagree.
Okay, well,
I just strictly think you think it's funny because it's just... I don't know. I think he uses a stethoscope. I know many nurses that have their own stethoscope.
I'm not saying you can't. I'm just not sold on the move.
Maybe because you just don't like him.
If Bennett did it, I would be like,
if Bennett did it, or Zach C did it, or Ben did it, we would be
like,
you're
right. It's just because I don't like him.
Yeah.
That's why it's funny.
So the cocktail party starts back up after the new guys. I put down Ben is hype.
Oh, also I wanted to say Tayshia, when Noah was walking inside, said, he's going to be trouble. I already know it.
But she liked him.
Yeah, unfortunately.
She
I just wanted
him.
to note that because
what if that's we see a lot of him in the promos too. So something
Sigh.
Else. But let's get back to people we do like.
Yes.
I put down that Ben is very hype and that Ben seems like the kind of guy that basically any parent would like.
Yes, he is the perfect take home to your family type of guy. And he's so excited about Tayshia out right off the bat. Also, like, during this whole montage, we're getting a lot of sound bites from Kenny, and he keeps swearing like every other word, and I'm so confused about what he's saying.
Kenny is a producer's dream, though. He's a pot stirrer. He's a poopster. he loves agitating people.
He gets the sound bites, but I was just like, I literally can't understand what he's saying because there's too many bleeps.
Yeah. He's the only... Beth, you've been right about everyone with your gut intention, but I still feel like I still don't like Kenny.
Okay, here's the thing. I don't like Kenny, but I like to watch Kenny. Okay. It's a different thing.
I don't even know if I like to watch him anymore. I'm kind of over him.
Every time he comes on screen, I'm like, ooh, Kenny, what's going to happen?
I literally...
He's funny. He's cringy.
I hate his tattoos so much. His tattoos are trash. He needs, we need to start a GoFundMe for laser removal.
We got to see his tattoos in full force, and they did not get better when you got a bigger picture.
Yeah, I'd already seen them on his Instagram because I did go look at his Instagram before the season started, and already got that vibe.
So you already
knew, but
so you're like Claire. You already knew what to think of Kenny before.
I already knew who Kenny was.
I didn't really know,
but so we get a Zach C and Tayshia moment. And Zach C, and I mentioned this when we were watching, Zach C just seems like he just never meets a stranger. He's friends with everyone. He's that guy who talks to the grocery store cashier, and they're good buddies.
Yeah. I think he feels very comfortable in his own skin.
Which is incredibly attractive.
Also, I just realized that all the guys rush up at this point.
Yes, I know. We got ahead of ourselves.
Sorry, everyone.
I mean, with good reason, though.
Also, I think Zach C might be a bit of a silver fox. Like, I think I saw a little bit of
Zaddy
gray.
down. He's a Zaddy.
Yeah, he is.
Here's
it works
the
for
thing.
him.
At the beginning of the season, I liked Zach C, but he was not someone who I was physically attracted to. But the more we see of his personality, the more I'm like, oh, he's getting a little hotter.
Yeah.
Not that he was unattractive before. He just wasn't my type.
Yeah, but I think you're right. His personality is really coming through in a great way. And
Yeah.
it's making him much more
The comfortable in your
appealing.
own skin look is a very hot look.
Yeah. It's just like, here I am.
Yeah. And this was just the beginning of him getting more attractive. We got more of it later.
Yeah.
But they had a really sweet moment. They made a wish and threw a penny into the pond or the fountain, and Tayshia was digging it.
That fountain got a huge feature this episode.
And what I want to say here is they could have easily kissed in that moment. I don't think they did.
No, they would have shown it, I think.
And I
if
think
it
allowed...
because that would have been the first kiss of the season.
Yeah, the first smooch. I want to say it helped build some tension.
I agree. I think it was a smart move.
Yeah, so I'm
because it leaves Tayshia wanting more.
Yeah, she wanted it more.
Yeah, she was into it. She was definitely into it.
Very quickly, we get a little snippet of Noah. We find out he's one of 11 kids and he has a twin. Cool. Kenny says that he never owned a suit before the Bachelorette.
Are we surprised?
I don't like that.
He also he barely scrapes by wearing the suit because he buttons his shirt only halfway.
I basically can almost see his belly button. It's cringe.
It's so funny.
Let's
to
move
me.
on.
It's
Then
so
we have
funny to me.
I'm over him.
I would love to meet him in real life.
I don't.
Kara, if you
I
saw
literally,
him at the grocery
with
store.
With most contestants, I would be like, hi, I'm Kara. If I saw him, I would be like,
No.
I'm so serious.
If I saw him at Kroger, I would follow him around just to see what
he
did.
I might snap a photo just to send to you. But that's it. I'm so serious.
He's funny.
I don't mean to be mean. I just don't care.
No, I just think it's funny because you're just over him because you don't think he's cool. I think I want to pay more attention to him because he's cringe.
But I usually do like cringe stuff, but with him, I'm like...
You're just not into it.
Because he doesn't... let's move on.
I'm going to go to all of his boy bands that he produces or whatever.
They're not even good.
I'm going to go to all their concerts and I'm going to become his groupie. Kenny's.
I'll support you, I guess. Don't ask me to come. Okay, let's move on to something better. So, Ben and Tayshia have a dance moment. I want to talk about this because what did you think about this dance moment?
This dance moment was 100% working for me.
Why is this different from the Riley Claire dance moment?
Okay, first of all, I was thinking back to it, and the Riley Claire dance moment, the camera angle was someone was laying on the ground and shooting them from the ground up, and that was weird. But also, Ben was just so sincere, and their chemistry was so good. They looked good together, and the water fountain was running, so it wasn't completely silent, and they were being flirty and talking, and it was very natural. Whereas Riley was trying to put on the moves in a cringe way with Claire. It was much more stiff.
I mean,
stuff.
I definitely think the connection was better, but part of me thinks that this was seen as less cringe because of the editing.
Yeah, I mean, well, like I said at the beginning, the camera angle for Riley and Claire was terrible. But
and they didn't have the music that they had in the background for this one.
Music. I don't know. I think even if you put those clips raw, unedited, I would still think that the one with Riley and Claire was awkward.
Yeah, I mean, I think there definitely was a different connection for sure.
And Ben is just
I just wanted to know because I think when we talked about it before, you were like,
oh yeah,
you thought it was awkward strictly because there wasn't music.
I was very aggressively against it, but I'm going to just say Ben made it work for him. And if that scenario happened to me,
I loved it.
I would be into it.
And I told you I loved it. I loved a good dance moment before, and I get this one was better, but
it was, I mean, Kara, you have to admit, like, it was worlds better. I think that Claire and Riley were dancing like slow dance middle school style,
just side to side.
Whereas
Ben
dipped her, he twirled her. They were dancing like actual adults with like the
I'll give you that
placement. Like, it's so weird.
I will give you that. I do think Riley probably just did that so he could kiss her.
Yeah, and he did it, like I said, to put the moves on her, but it wasn't cool. Whereas Ben was just like, it was just a genuine moment from the heart.
Oh yeah, I just wanted to hear your thoughts because I just know that you didn't like.
Are you trying to catch me in a lie?
No, I just wanted to hear. I knew you had a reason, and I wanted to hear it.
Well, there it is. There's my reason.
Okay, so our what's our word? What am I trying to say? Our conclusion is this one was better.
Yes.
The end.
Yeah. We talked about it for 5 minutes. All for that.
Okay, let's move on. So Tayshia and Spencer talk, and he gets the first impression rose.
His hair is soaking and glistening.
Yeah, he does need it. That is a note. I agree with you on the hair.
So wet. It's like Ross from Friends.
But he does get the first impression rose, and he also gets the first smooch.
Is a blunder in my calculation.
Yeah,
Ben should have gotten it, or Zach C.
Yeah, I think Zach C should have gotten it. That's my opinion.
Frick.
But
even though Tayshia can do no wrong,
we do need to make note of it because historically, Bachelorette first impression roses go far. And most of the time,
they win.
They are the final person.
I'm going to tell you right now, if Spencer is the final person, I will be pissed.
Well, it could.
I'm already getting mad.
It doesn't mean that's going to happen.
I know, but now I'm stressed.
No, we are not stressed.
Okay,
Stop it.
Right. Tranquility, serenity now.
Serenity now. Well, I think this will add some serenity. We find out that Tayshia cancels the rose ceremony just so she can hang out with the guys more.
So sweet. Such a class
loved
act.
this move.
It is the exact opposite of what Claire did.
Yeah.
She canceled the rose ceremony to give herself a rose and then send everyone home.
This one, she was like, I want to hang out with the guys more.
And
she's a quality time gal.
I don't think that obviously probably part of this was like production because practically, they want her to have a good amount of guys there to spice things up. But from what we see, basically all the guys there, with the exception of a couple, they're all great guys.
Yeah. No, I thought this was a power move in a good way. Like I don't mean like power move like I have the power.
Yeah.
I just mean like power move like a great move.
And I think that after what these guys have experienced, this probably meant so much to them to be like, wow, she thinks that we all deserve a chance.
Yeah, it was a great, like, I don't want to say she made this move to be diplomatic, but it was a very diplomatic.
It had
move.
those effects, even if she didn't intend that.
I loved what she said here because once Chris Harrison left, she was like, "Okay, guys, it's just us now." I loved that line.
What? Oh yeah,
she said, "It's just us now." Like, finally, we have more time together.
That's so cute.
I liked it. That was the moment that I said, "She's a person who you want to host a girls' night in." Was that moment.
It's like her mom leaves. She's like, okay, guys, it's just us now.
Okay, so now we have
the worst
interruption
of the episode.
Beth, you need to know this before I tell you this. I have never fast forwarded through an episode of The Bachelor, Bachelorette. I've never skipped a scene. I've never made that choice. We didn't do that here, but I was very close to asking you to just fast forwarding through this next part.
Do you think that if we weren't going to be recapping it on this podcast, you would have skipped it?
No, I still would have watched it, but I just would have been tuned out. I did take a few notes, though.
It was just more of the same.
Here's what I want to say. I'm happy for Dale and Claire.
Yes.
We got another one shoulder dress to add our one shoulder dress tally to 5.
Yes.
Which is a lot.
And red, her classic color.
I do want to note that before they came out, Chris Harrison was talking to the camera. Did you see the dramatic camera change?
No.
He was talking to one camera and then he like whipped to the side and was like, now I'm going to talk to this camera.
Oh my gosh. Anything to spice it up, you know?
I do have a couple thoughts I want to talk about.
Okay.
First off, I've never seen a Bachelorette this emotional over and intense over a connection, like even after the fact, like when they've done a follow-up.
It took her like 3 minutes to cry.
Yes. The other thing is, I do wish them the best. I hope everything works out.
Yes, me too, 100%.
I do feel like, though, that Claire majorly contradicts herself in this interview, and here's why. Claire brands herself as this bold, independent woman who knows what she wants. I sensed some codependency vibes here.
100%. She's like, it's totally like that. And it's like she's projecting everything she's ever needed onto Dale.
Yes. And it stressed me out because I really sincerely hope that they do stay together and that Dale does not want out. But if Dale did want out, I think he would be like too scared to leave for fear of like
crushing her very soul.
Yes.
And ruining her life.
I just thought it's weird because, like, I sensed the codependency, but she also simultaneously wears the pants in the relationship.
And Dale was not reciprocating. Like, I mean, I'm not saying he doesn't love her at all, but, like, he is just not on the same level as her. But I also don't think he needs to be. Like, you shouldn't be codependent in your relationship.
Yeah.
And the thing is, he's not codependent on Claire the way that she is to him.
Yeah, I definitely think you hit the nail on the head with the projection thing.
Yeah, because she's like, this is everything I've ever waited for my entire life. And if that is what you are thinking about your new fiance, I'm going to tell you right now, you are setting yourself up for failure.
Yeah, because I will say she was praising him and stuff like that. And I think that's great to like celebrate your partner's strengths and stuff.
Of course.
But what happens when he inevitably messes up even a little bit?
Because she was saying like, oh, he's exactly what I needed. Like he does everything I need. It's, okay, well, what happens when he doesn't?
Is she going to say like, you're not the guy my father would have wanted for me? Or like,
yeah, because I wouldn't say like, I am extremely thankful for my relationship, but I would never say like Nate is exactly what I need all the time because no one is.
That would make Cameron, my spouse, feel incredibly stressed out.
Yeah, it's putting all your happiness on someone else.
Yeah,
and that's just not
realistic. What I had hoped to hear from her was, I'm a strong woman. I've lived my life for 39 years being single. And I know what I want, and I want Dale, but I don't need him.
And that is the point that I think, personally, my relationship had to be at before it was, like, its most healthy version of itself.
Yeah, I think you need to get there before you get married.
Yeah, because...
I don't need you, but I want you.
Yes, that was, like, the biggest... I think that was the biggest milestone for mine and Nate's relationship, was the realization of, oh, wait, I am 100% complete alone.
Yes.
But I still am going to choose you.
Yes.
Every day. And that is not at all the vibe.
Yeah. We're both 100% on the same page, I think, about this.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think maybe this is what, like, all the Claire stuff boils down to ultimately. Is this attitude that she has that, like, love is the missing piece. And I also think that our friend Jen talks about this a lot, but like that's really unfair to people who aren't in a relationship to say like, oh yeah, this is the thing I've been waiting for, and like now this is when like my life is fully...
You're making the assumption that everyone who's single is waiting for something.
Yeah, and that you can't have a complete and fulfilling life without another person.
Absolutely.
And that's the message that she's sending.
I don't think she's intending to send that message, but
no,
it was just... There were a lot of things she said that I felt like were really short-sighted, but in the end, I do hope things work out for them.
I hope things work out, but I think she's got to get...
Well, you know what? Dale said a great thing on the last episode. He says, now we got to put in the work. He said that after and I think that he still believes that, and I really do think that, I really do hope that they do stay together.
He seems like he has his feet firmly on the ground, and I would hope that he would be the type of person that could be the security that Claire is looking for, while also like speaking some truth into her.
And I think that she's attracted to that too.
Yes. Yeah. Like he'll push her and grow her, I think.
I want to end on this. The Chris Harrison asking what's next and Claire going,
gosh.
babies.
And
Dale
Dale's
going,
like,
we'll get married first. And Claire going, whatever happens first. And I was like, uh-oh.
she's like, I want a kid yesterday.
They were both clearly on different pages in that moment. It was just that, of course, they left us with that moment.
I know I felt extremely awkward about that.
But we'll just end it on that. But
also, how long after their quote unquote honeymoon?
What do you mean honeymoon?
Someone called it, like, I can't remember what one of the guys at one point in the episode was like, yeah, Claire left on her honeymoon. I was just like, I thought that was funny.
So what's the question?
Well, how long after they left did they film this?
Oh, I think they filmed this recently.
Okay, because she was like talking about how everyone was against her relationship.
Yeah, I think this was filmed recently, like after she was able to get some, not feedback, but response.
I would say that no one's against her relationship at all.
No, I think they just clash personality wise with her.
And they see probably some of the things that we're talking about.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But wish them the best.
Let's not give it any more time.
Back to...
how are we going to not make these episodes 2 hours?
We have to accept it. Let's lean in.
Okay,
let's get back to Tayshia.
Let's make it 3 hours.
Okay, so let's get back to Tayshia. Group date time. This group date included Zach C., Spencer, Easy, Noah, Jay, Jordan C., Kenny, Peter, Riley, and Blake. They do a pool date.
This is the exact same date as the dodgeball date, except it's in a pool.
I liked it better than the dodgeball date, though.
Yeah, this is what I was thinking. They are giving Tayshia 1,000% more effort on the content of their days.
Yeah.
Like the horseback riding, the fireworks, we're
getting diversity in activities.
Yeah, the pool stuff. Like they're trying. It just seems like they're trying way harder.
Yes.
Maybe they realized early on that it was like weird and boring.
Yeah, they're like, guys, let's save the good stuff for later. What I want to say is I literally stopped taking notes for 5 minutes because I was checking out Tayshia so hard.
She looks so good.
So good.
I don't even know.
I don't know, but I literally had to like snap out of it.
Where's her bathing suit from?
I don't know, but I feel like that bathing suit I feel like I would look good in that bathing suit. That's a very good.
It's a universally flattering style. And I'm going to call it right now, summer.
I bet she has it tagged in her stories somewhere.
Summer 2021, that is going to be the bathing suit.
Yeah. So they play what they call splash ball, which is essentially kind of like a weird casual water polo, I guess. I want to note here that they put them in Speedos, and we quickly realize who gets a spray tan and who doesn't.
Yeah.
With
and
the
also,
weird tan lines.
How do we feel about the Speedos thing?
I mean, they definitely couldn't do that with women, like with like a string bikini.
Yeah.
But they have done that in the past with women, but
they couldn't do it now.
They couldn't do it now.
I just always feel weird about that.
I feel like if they said the Speedos were too small, and I think that's a no-no, but if the Speedos fit.
Yeah, it's like a legitimate piece of bathing wear.
People choose to wear them.
For unknown reasons.
Beth, I need to tell you something.
Okay. Wait, I'm scared.
Kenny gets spray tans.
How could we ever be surprised?
I'm not surprised, but I'm just saying that's another...
It's hilarious. How do you not understand how hilarious that is?
He has a budget for spray tans. You know who doesn't get a budget? Who doesn't get spray tans? Zach C.
Probably none of the
because
other ones do. Except for maybe Bennett, but
no,
you can respect
when
that.
we see the lineup later, I saw like 3 or 4 men with weird tan lines. The rest of them, no tan line.
Also, we have to mention that when they show the shot of all the men taking their shirt off, Kenny gets stuck trying to take his tank off for like a solid 4 seconds.
Yeah, because he wears those tanks that are like too loose and have the huge armholes. He's like, what is an armhole? I don't know.
He looks so stressed. It's a good thing he was in the back, because if he had been right in front of Tayshia, that would have been embarrassing.
We get into the
sorry. you already said it, but like it's just so hilarious that they called it Splash Ball.
Yeah.
That they like thought of a name.
I feel like that's a good name. I don't have a better name.
Then they did the branding, which I love.
What branding?
Like they like made a little like
logo,
Splash Ball logo.
I liked that. I liked that actually.
Yeah, I just said oh wait, maybe I didn't say it. I was thinking it. I loved it.
Okay, good. Splash Ball is going to be the hit of the summer season next year. Hopefully, if COVID is gone.
Yeah.
I want to say that usually in these competitions, we usually get Fred Willard on the show, and he's passed away.
I don't know who that is.
What?
I'm sorry.
You'll write instantly.
Is he like the announcer of the game?
He always, every time the Bachelorette in like the last maybe 10 years or so, continuously, he comes on to be like a judge in a competition on the show. And he's absolutely adorable and precious.
I bet I would recognize him.
You would instantly recognize him. He unfortunately passed away this year.
Man, what the heck is up?
So I missed that, but they did their best with it. Also, why the heck are the men wearing sweatbands?
Yeah, and why was there a pool cam of all their butts underwater?
I guess they had to wear the sweatbands so the teams could differentiate who's on what team because like their colors are underwater.
Okay, that's actually a very practical reason that I did not think of.
I literally just thought about it.
That makes sense. Did you grow up going to a pool? Like, did you belong to a pool growing up?
No. I went to the pool with friends who had a pool.
That's if you don't belong to one or whatever, you got to have the hookups.
Yeah, I did not grow up frequenting pools. Actually, we had probably this is why we had a really slamming creek.
Oh, but you can't. Could you swim in it?
When it would rain, it would get really full, and my dad. Shout out to my dad. Whenever it would rain really hard, he would take us outside. We'd go to the creek and he would have what he called like manly man challenges. And he would do things like whoever can lay on the driveway for the longest while it's pouring down rain wins.
Oh my gosh.
And like things like, standing under like a waterfall or something.
Wait, did you grow up in the house that I've been to? Oh, okay. Because I was going to say that
But we have a creek there too, but not like that.
Oh, okay.
The creek at my original house was much bigger.
Okay, because I grew up going to the pool, and this really took me back to my like pool days when you would go every day in the summer, and then you would play water basketball with your friends, and the bottom of your toes would get scraped.
That was the worst feeling. I'm so sorry. I just got so angry when your feet would get raw.
Yes, I'm
enraged.
When they were playing, I was having a visceral reaction.
There was some raw feet. I'm so sure.
Yeah,
unless the bottom of the pool was like a nice bottom.
Because nice pools, the bottom is like it's still grainy. Like
there was definitely some raw feet going on.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that.
That's the worst feeling. I've dreaded that. I literally go to pools now and I'm like, don't do that.
I need like water shoes.
I was a water shoe kid. Not as an adult, as a child.
I'm just picturing you like wearing water shoes in a pool.
I was a water shoe kid. No. Also a rash guard kid. I just when I was a kid, I went to a lot more natural bodies of water.
Yeah, you need water shoes if you're going to be like in a river or a creek.
Yeah,
but please do not wear your water shoes to the pool.
We did not the pool.
That's what I was picturing.
Oh.
I can't. I'm so sad for you.
My mom's gonna text me and be like, "You definitely wore water shoes to the pool
and a rash guard."
But yeah, I didn't frequent pools. More like lakes, creeks, rivers. But we do have the splash ball. I want to get back to this. Spencer gets elbowed in the face by Riley, and I mean, he's bleeding, so obviously they're going to stop the game, and Tayshia's going to check on him.
Riley says that Spencer's face hit his elbow.
What? I didn't catch that. That's a great catch. I didn't really appreciate his comments here. Of course, they're going to stop the game when someone's bleeding.
Yeah, Chris has got to blow his whistle.
And
he's got to get a chance to use it at least once.
I didn't think Spencer made a big deal about it.
No.
Because even later when she brought the ice out, he didn't even use it.
No, he was just like
so
bleeding into the pool, and then they were like, maybe we should stop the game now.
He literally was like, yeah, I'm fine.
I got the impression that he would have kept playing had they not stopped the game.
Of course. Anyways, I just didn't get why Riley made it seem like he was making a big deal about it. I didn't think he was making a big deal.
Yeah,
about
and
it.
that, like I said, the comment about running into his elbow, and then they show the
Come
replay,
on.
and Riley clearly just elbows him, not intentionally, but
and I'm not saying like Spencer must be protected at all costs here. I just
no,
feel like
I don't even like Spencer.
I just feel like at this moment, I just didn't get that.
Nah, Riley's just really going down in the rankings for me.
I genuinely just think he's just jealous because he got the first impression rose.
He's extremely sensitive, but he tries to pretend to be like macho.
I also don't like that like he can dish it, but he can't take it because later Spencer dishes something. I can't remember exactly what he said, but Riley literally was like,
"Don't you ever come at me?"
He was
bro.
like, "We call you lunch meat because you're all talk," and I was like, maybe that's true, but like, why do we need to get so angry about it?
Yeah. He was like, if it was something about like, if we need to handle this, like just come directly to me and we'll handle it, or like basically implying that he would fight him. I'm pretty sure.
I don't know. I think Riley like set him up to make that comment, not to say that Spencer should have said like trash talk or anything, but I don't know. I just felt like it escalated way too fast, and it didn't need to escalate.
It was weird.
So we get to the nighttime portion of the date, and they quickly cut back to the house, or the other part of La Quinta.
The other pool
At La Quinta Resort and Spa. And Jason and Joe are talking. Jason and Origami Joe. Jason's thinking about leaving. He says he still has feelings for Claire. We find out Brendan's going to be on the one-on-one. This was actually a useful time of a cut, like, to the men.
Yeah, like something actually happened.
There was something that happened in the storyline.
And Brendan said, "Can't sleep tonight because right now I'm on cloud 9."
Cute. I like that. Come back to the date. Easy and Tayshia talk. I want to say this. Easy still has those sexual assault allegations. Nothing has been
disproven or proven.
Nothing's been disproven or proven, but I think it's important to note.
Yes.
So I do know that the show has been in contact with whoever came forth.
Oh, really?
But I haven't heard any other developments. But here's the thing about ABC. Like, they're not gonna, I think this is a bad move, but they're not gonna edit someone out until they have, like,
proof.
Yeah.
Receipts.
But Easy and Tayshia do hit it off. And he says something really strong here. Did you catch it?
Yeah, like I think I could have met my wife.
Yeah, he says, I felt like I might have met my wife.
Yeah, I said that he pulls a Claire.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's a Claire.
It's too strong. I don't think she's.
It wasn't too strong for Tayshia because she gave him the date rose.
Wait, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Again, I'm kind of confused with her methods.
I'm going to talk about her rose pass out method later because I actually really liked it. And I'll tell you why later.
Okay, I'm excited.
But we do get another Zach C and Tayshia moment. And she asks him, how old are you? And he says, I'm 36. And I literally thought, he's a man.
He is a man.
And she talks about where she lives, there's a lot of boys and she's not interested in trying to teach a boy how to be a man. And I love that.
I agree. And it wasn't in like an aggressive, like, I hate men type of way.
She wasn't annoyed.
It was just like, well, her quote was, where is it? There's not really men around where I live. There's just boys chasing things. And
that's what it is.
That was such an insightful and almost poetic way to put it. Without really demeaning anyone.
Yes.
And only calling attention to the fact that, like, hey, I'm aware of what's going on where I am, and that's just not what I'm looking for.
I liked it because Tayshia seems to have the awareness that the lifestyle she's currently living now as like an Instagrammer is not forever. She wants someone that can live with her while she's an influencer and then one day when she, may not be an influencer.
Right.
I liked that.
Me too.
I thought I got a steamy connection here.
She was eyeing Zach C. Like, she did an up and down eyeing him.
Well, whenever his age came up, she thought that was sexy.
Yeah, she likes that older man, which can't blame her, you know? So, and she's the one who goes in for the kiss.
Yes, I like that. She does that with Brendan later,
again, wasn't aggressive, but she's just clearly, like, attracted to them.
Yeah, she's not gonna. She doesn't. She has a way of being flirtatious without being like totally hard to get.
Agree.
What a balance. She talks to Riley. Again, I don't see like a huge connection here. I mean, I think they could be friends, maybe. But
maybe they could be friends.
Maybe I'm being nitpicky.
No. This is that's what this whole thing is about.
I want to nitpick something here.
Okay.
I have a pet peeve. It's a weird pet peeve, maybe, but I don't like when people say, I want a boy and a girl. I want 2 girls.
Oh.
I want a boy first. I want a girl first, or whatever.
I say I want a girl first.
I don't like this because...
And we're talking about children, by the way.
Yes, as far as like children goes. I don't like this because there are people out there who are just like dying to have a baby.
Yeah.
And like you're over here talking about like...
They'll take whatever they can get.
Yeah. How about we just ask for healthy babies, happy babies?
Yeah. I always say I want a girl first because I have a girl's name that I really want to use.
That's fine.
But in the end, it's not like I actually care.
I'm just saying it's a pet peeve of mine.
And you can't plan it anyway, so what's the point?
I know. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'm being a little critical, but that's just a personal pet peeve that I have.
I just think Riley's easy to have pet peeves about because I feel like he's overly masculine, chivalrous in a way that just doesn't come across.
Yeah. And I am someone who likes more of a well-balanced between masculine and feminine energy.
I agree.
I like a man who can be in touch with his feminine side.
I agree. I think it's important. And I think especially for someone like Tayshia who's so emotionally aware and seems very complex, like there's a lot. She's deep, not complex in a bad way, just...
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't see that personality for her.
If I sensed a connection here, I'd probably be a little bit less critical, but I just don't sense a connection between the two of them.
He's going to go home, like, if not this next episode, the one after that.
Yeah. We do get to the Kenny and Riley kind of ganging up on Spencer. I thought this was completely ridiculous. We talked about this briefly earlier, but it did happen here at this point, and... I don't know. I just thought it was silly.
It was dumb. It didn't matter.
Okay, so let's move on to the Tayshia coming back. Yay.
Yeah, our favorite part.
Tayshia grabs the rose, and she does something a little bit different here that I think I've seen this from Sean Lowe and maybe a couple other leads, but I haven't seen it recently. She grabs the rose and then gives like kudos and feedback to guys.
To multiple people.
To 3 different guys.
Here's what I liked about you. Here's what I liked about you.
Yeah. What did you think about this before she gave out the rose?
I thought it was good. I think, in a way, maybe it got people's hopes up.
I liked it.
Only for them to not get the rose. But I think it's almost like you were saying, it's like, okay, even if you didn't get the rose...
You still got something.
I still want you to know that I appreciated our conversation. And I'm going to acknowledge that in front of the group.
Yeah, I think it does 2 purposes, like you said. Like, gives their hopes up, maybe, so that the producers like that.
Yeah, they're like, more of that.
And then they still get some reassurance, even if they didn't get the rose. Because if she just gave the rose without explanation, some of those guys would have been like, why didn't I get it? Like, especially like Zach C., who had a great moment.
Yeah, he did. He had a very strong moment with her.
Okay, so let's get to Jason. Jason.
Oh, wait, I want to say.
Oh.
Why do you think she gave Easy the rose? Because what I'm thinking is, I don't think that she's pulling a Colton where she's like trying to throw producers off on who her front runners are. But I don't think that she's necessarily giving the rose to the person that she likes the most.
No, I think she gave it to him because he clearly vocalized that he's invested in her.
Yeah.
And
it was almost like
her.
Who logically did the best, not who do I have the best connection with.
Yeah, I think...
Or just like, who do I genuinely
And they may have a connection, but I think he said the most impactful thing by saying, I think I might have met my wife, and I think she might wanted to at least give him a little... Thanks for saying that.
Well, and I think it's almost like the opposite of what Claire did, where she was just going on feelings, whereas Tayshia's really looking at everything as a whole and then making a conscious choice to promote certain actions or whatever, if that makes sense.
I think so. But I wish if it had been me, I would have given it to Zach C.
Yeah, I agree.
But mostly because there was a steamy connection.
Steamy.
Okay, so we get to Jason. They've been toying with the idea of him leaving. He's talking to all the guys now. about how he says he is in love with Claire. He said, I'm in love with Claire.
I feel so bad for Jason.
Even
though he still has that wild energy that I'm not sure about.
It's a little unpredictable.
Yeah.
I want to say I feel like he's literally going through what someone would go through when I've never experienced this, but you develop a strong connection with someone and then they ghost you.
It's like, I honestly think it's like trauma bonding.
Yeah, I agree. Like, because he basically was forced to share all these things on television, deep things,
that
personal
he hadn't
things,
talked about before.
and
then she just freaking never talked to him again.
Yeah. I mean, I don't like to throw the word trauma around a lot, but I mean,
I just don't know what else to call it.
Remember, what did Elizabeth say?
Yeah. Okay. So our friend Lizzie, she said that Bachelorette should pay for Jason's therapy to deal with this
for at least a period of time.
And I agree with that because
they do have show therapists like on site.
Oh, that's good.
I don't know how often they have access to them, but they do have them.
I feel very bad about all of that, and I get that Claire's intention wasn't bad, but like it just clearly had a huge effect on him.
Yeah.
That I think it was really irresponsible of everyone involved to like make that a date.
Yeah. I mean, I do think that he should probably be open to sharing a little bit more.
Well, and part of me is like, you're in love with her? Like, we didn't see that much of their connection. So that's like another red flag to me about him generally. So it's like, okay, well, if that's all the experience he's had with her and he's already in love with her, like he must have been in a very vulnerable emotional place before they did all of that. And so he was probably affected by that experience way more than a lot of the other guys would have been.
I also think he's had too much time to ruminate on what's happened.
You're right.
He's been in his thoughts. So
you're right.
I think we need to give him that benefit of the doubt, is that he's just only had time to think about it. And that sometimes is not healthy. But we can say what we want to say about Jason, but he did make the right decision in leaving.
Yeah, good for you, Jason. And it was so sweet how all the men
supported him,
encouraging him, and I really liked that they showed like this was whereas with the date with Claire that was like felt inappropriate. This was an encouraging
bonding moment.
Bonding, vulnerability, and like almost sending the message of this idea, like the vulnerability is good and it's okay to be struggling with things and there's people to help you talk through it.
I did like that. I love a healthy emotional moment, especially when it has to deal with men who are constantly told to suppress their emotions.
Right.
I liked what Zach C said here. He said, "You're walking out here a better man."
Yeah.
We need a motivational podcast from Zach C.
Well, his whole job is addiction
specialist.
Yeah, so he helps people with that. So I feel like he has a very wise and
he has the skill set for this.
Yeah, so I'm really glad he was there, honestly, because I feel like Jason needed help.
Yeah.
So
he did go to. Did he go to Tayshia in this moment?
Yeah,
he did go to Tayshia and, explain why he had to leave. I don't have a whole lot to say about that moment, other than it did kind of psych her out that like the thing about men still being there for Claire. I did like that he reassured her though. He said, "Don't you worry.
That's not
like
the case with everyone else.
All the other men back there are here for you." And I liked that he took a moment to vocalize that.
Yeah, I think that they both handled it really well, both of them, and I feel like I was thinking like I feel like Tayshia and Jason could be legit
pals.
Like I could see their relationship like after all this is over just being,
and we love a good
buds.
Franchise friendship.
Yeah,
FF.
Maybe they'll have a podcast together.
He'll go on Clickbait.
Oh, right.
Her podcast.
Yeah, I forgot that was a thing.
So let's get to the one-on-one with Brendan and Tayshia. So
we see an overhead shot of the pool, and the same float that Claire used is still in the pool.
They need to burn that.
That float has bad energy around it.
Yeah, they need to like sage it or something. But she does. The men are chilling at the pool, and she comes in on the two horses. and she's looking great in her little hat.
I was just impressed that she was riding a horse and also leading a horse.
Very true.
That looked hard.
That is hard.
And she was fitting through this narrow walkway.
She was working it.
Near a pool.
I'm impressed.
It was high stakes.
Yeah, some people would be really stressed out in that situation. I know Cam, my husband, he very much dislikes the idea of riding horses.
Well, they're really high when you get up there.
And they're big animals. They can kill you.
Oh my gosh.
With their hooves.
Wait, you're right.
They're powerful animals. Anyways.
I'm never getting on a horse
not
again.
Not that they're like bloodthirsty or anything.
They will eat you.
But she was working the hat, and Brendan is so cute in his hat too.
He
gets on the
so
horse.
good as soon as he put that. I mean, he looked good before the hat, but when he
thought
put
it was
the hat
adorable.
on, it was working for him.
I loved it.
Me too.
I don't know. He's so
On that black stallion.
He's so endearing to me.
Yeah, he's endearing, but not like in a
like a juvenile way.
I don't feel pity for him or anything.
No.
He's just so love him.
Yeah, I have a soft spot for him.
And I really liked the color of his shirt.
Yes, good. Yeah, it was like
It looked good.
It was like a rusty, like
reddish pinkish.
Yeah. I loved what they did on this date. Because they're riding the horse. Brendan's talking about how Chris Harrison interrupted their moment and he wanted to kiss her the other night. And they monopolize on this.
Yeah, they really.
Literally, the moment he talks about Chris Harrison interrupting, Chris Harrison appears with margaritas.
Is there a greater dream than to be served a margarita by Chris Harrison on horseback?
I want that.
At the La Quinta.
What's even better is seeing him 2 more times, because I want more scenarios set up where we see Chris Harrison scoot on a scooter.
Chris Harrison needs to host the whole rest of the season on a scooter.
I need a scooter moment.
Non-negotiable.
Yes, this is the content we need.
Please give us a montage of Chris Harrison riding his scooter around La Quinta.
Yes, I want like a scooter tour. Like
the only thing that could be better is if he was riding a Segway.
No, the only thing that could be better is if his partner in crime, Lauren Zima, is
Was
also on a scooter with him. So either side by side or same scooter.
Or on a Segway.
Or on a
A Segway.
Or a
Segways are
moped.
never not funny.
That's true.
Like, think of any person on a Segway and it will make you laugh.
Yes, that's true. Especially Chris Harrison.
Yeah.
I feel like Chris Harrison is very well versed in how to use a Segway.
He's definitely been on a Segway many times in his life.
Yes.
And he would definitely do one of those little twirly things.
Of course.
That you could
Give
do.
me a spin.
Does this remind you of Agent
Or
Cody
like,
Banks?
it's like yes. But wait, remember the twirl thing? Like, give me a twirl. Oh, we hate the twirl. From
Wait.
The Office.
Oh, yeah.
Hate the twirl.
Wait, that's from the Pretty Woman episode?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
But Agent Cody Banks, good reference. Segways,
I don't know if it was Agent Cody Banks or Agent Cody Banks 2. I feel like it was the first one.
I just want to say Segways had a very like niche moment in
They
time.
were like, it was an early like 2004
to like
fad.
2011.
It was very strange.
They still exist, but they're not nearly as popular as they were.
I feel like when you used to go to, I don't know if you went to DC growing up.
They're everywhere.
They were everywhere.
Everywhere.
And I just don't get it. Like,
I don't want to be on a Segway. It sounds dangerous.
it's huge. I feel like, I don't know. Why would you
I'm
not
more
just use
scared
a
of
scooter?
Segways than I am of horses.
Really?
Yes.
But you're in control of the Segway.
I don't care. I don't trust myself. So Chris Harrison shows up not once, not twice, but 3 times. Margaritas, ice cream, and coconuts. The 3rd time he shows up and Brendan's still talking about the kiss and stuff, I literally just want to be like, Brendan, just kiss Chris Harrison.
Yeah, kiss him. That's what we're all waiting for.
That's what Chris Harrison's waiting for.
Yeah.
But I loved it. I thought it was funny.
It was
and creative.
If you don't think this is funny, then I don't know what to tell you, because this is
Yes.
quality TV.
I love when the show makes
the producers doing the most.
Well, I think it's smart because I love when the show makes fun of itself.
Oh yeah.
Like makes a meme of itself.
Yeah, it's not like they were like, this would be cool if we do this.
Yeah.
They're like, this would be weird but funny if we did
I
this.
liked it. But we do get a little kissy moment. They get to the pool, and you can tell they're just burning time. Like they
can't kiss on a horse very easily. So
like the second they got in the pool, it was like game on.
I mean, a pool is a very
I know
sensual place.
Yeah. Yeah, whenever I was growing up, if a boy asked me to go swimming, I instantly was like, whoa.
That is taking things a step too far.
Yeah, like next level. But I liked the kiss moment because he was like, I wanted to do this the other night. And literally the second he starts saying that, she's like, zooming
got
in.
it, I'm there.
But I loved it.
Yeah, me too.
They are so cute together.
Yeah, and then Tayshia says Brendan is everything, which is just echoing the statement.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah, he is. He's everything. What more could you want?
So we cut to nighttime. This is what I want to note. This is very, very important. Tayshia is wearing the same dress that she was wearing when Jason came by to say that he was leaving.
Oh, wow. I did not catch that.
He must have. So when she went back to go get ready for the nighttime portion,
that's when he came
That's
over?
when he came and talked to her.
Okay, wow.
That's why I was like, pause. I need to take a note on this. So
that makes sense.
Timeline's a little bit out of order here. That's not, the show does that all the time, but I just wanted to note it that Jason left during this date.
Which, I mean, that puts it into more perspective because she's probably like, I don't care. I love Brendan.
So we get to like the conversation of the nighttime portion. I really loved this conversation. Tayshia's a great listener because Brendan talked for a long time and not in a bad way. He got to share a lot.
Well, and she asked him,
how'd you get here?
Yeah.
And they find out that they both have very similar stories. They've both been married before.
Married young.
He married his high school sweetheart. She married her like college sweetheart. And they have both been divorced for different reasons, but similar problems.
Right.
Like that they both didn't know each other without their partner.
Right.
Like no, they didn't know who they were.
Which is, again, the opposite. Not to keep comparing, but of Claire, kind of like Tayshia, you can clearly see she had to discover who she was on her own because of her experiences.
We also, I think I knew this already, but I didn't want to assume, but Tayshia does note that she has been a victim of infidelity.
Yes.
Which I think definitely explains her personality more too, of like kind of more caution than maybe some other bachelorettes. But I like that they both told the story, but that those stories don't define who they are. Like they definitely have recognized their past, but they're not defined by being divorced or being married before.
Right. And it wasn't, I mean, obviously that is a big deal, but they didn't make it neither of them made it some huge thing. It was just like,
no, it's like an
this is
important
a part
piece.
of my story. This is part of how I got here. And, in a way I'm grateful for it because it's made me who I am, that type of thing. I
liked that Brendan didn't know that she had been married and divorced
I thought
before.
that was so sweet.
Yeah, because she was able to. I think sometimes I am the person who does look people up on Instagram and stuff like that,
right?
And
I mean,
get
who
that,
wouldn't?
Yeah, and I get that. I get that that's not always a great thing to do, and this is an example of why. Because like Tayshia was able to share her story in a genuine way,
and it was fresh to Brendan, and because Brendan didn't know that, it actually required more courage in his vulnerability to share that.
Yeah.
Because he didn't.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, this is a clear example of like not looking someone up on social media being a benefit.
Yeah. That's like back in the day when that was the case always. Because there wasn't social media to look people up.
It made the moment way more impactful, and I think it had deepened their connection.
I agree.
They seem very comfortable with each other. It's a different energy than what she has with like Zach C. Like this is a more comfortable, chill, laid back energy. That's very sweet.
I don't want to say it's like friends because it's not, because there's definitely chemistry there, but it's not some sort of like explosive. I could see it being a slow burn.
I see this the connection I see here, not to say like I'm on Tayshia's level or anything, but the vibe I have here is very much the vibe that I have with Cam. It's very much like a chill, laid back, comfortable.
I can be open with you.
Yeah. Very valuable in my opinion. But yeah, it's different than what we've seen with other guys. And I don't know that's not good or bad. It's just something to note. I liked that they talked about kids, and Tayshia says, I probably want more kids than you think I want. And she says she might want 5 kids, and he says, that doesn't scare me.
That was so sweet.
I loved that.
And he said that he wants to be a father.
Oh, yeah, that was part of his story.
Yeah.
He wants to be a father more than anything.
Yeah.
That's so sweet.
It is really sweet.
Yeah, I'm a fan. We get fireworks. We get kissy kissies.
Tayshia says she doesn't know she's felt this way ever.
This is a 10 out of 10 date.
Yeah. I mean, the best, I think it was like a great first one-on-one, especially.
Yeah. We got humor. We got fun with the Chris Harrison portion.
I do think they just actually had a really fun time. And then they also had the physical connection and the emotional connection.
Yeah, we got everything we needed. Fun, humor, physical connection.
This date was just so...
vulnerability.
The whole date was pleasant to watch.
It was organic to me.
It was like you're watching real love happening.
Yeah, this is what I watched the show for.
This is why we believe in the process.
Yes. So the show does end there. We get a little insight into next week. Ashley, and Jared, who are now married.
Jared needs a haircut.
Quarantine.
Yeah, but you can still get a haircut.
Maybe he's wanted to see where it goes.
He's like, wait, how long can I grow
I
it?
love how they've been married for like a year, and they're already doing a competition where they judge the men on who can be the best husband.
I know.
And
so I'm so happy for them, though.
Yes, that is a true love story.
It's amazing.
It's a movie love story.
It's one of the best love stories of Bachelor Nation.
And I do like them together. And Ashley is a boss.
Yeah, and they're great together. I won't go into it more.
But we'll see more of them next week. I'm excited. I am excited for them to make an appearance.
And Wells is going to make an appearance.
Wells makes an appearance as a judge on like the MMA date.
I love Wells.
I do too.
Wells
is
like
crush
one of
on
my
him.
all-time favorites.
Him and Michael Stagliano are up there for me.
I still got to check.
You need to look him up.
Stagliano.
Look up Michael Stagliano, everyone. I think he's aged well. I haven't checked on him lately.
No, what if he's...
No, he's looking good. I'm
you.
putting it out there. It looks like the tensions between the men are going to be coming up next week. There's something with Chasen, something with Ed, something with Noah. I don't know if they're all related to each other, but...
I wonder if they're trying to bait us into thinking that about Noah, because they just keep showing, like, random shots of him.
Well, Ben said that he did... I feel like they set it up to where Ben is kind of rubbed the wrong way about Noah, which I can understand because Ben's mature.
And then there's that line that we saw also before of, like, he says the same things about Tayshia that he does about Claire, which I really feel like that's going to be about Riley.
Yeah, and we also said that could have been a Frankenbite.
Oh yeah.
So we'll just have to
like
see.
they've done it so many times that would be interesting if it wasn't.
We'll just have to see. I do think there's going to be some tension this season in a good and entertaining way.
The healthy tension.
Then we also get another feature of Noah's mustache and him trimming it, and Bennett and Ed shading. I do like that they had Bennett and Ed shading it. Yeah, I thought that was really funny. If they had just done the mustache feature, I would have been like, let's move on. But anytime where we can get Bennett, I'm here for it.
We'll take it.
Okay, so let's get to a new segment of ours called This Week's Rosebud. This is a segment where me and Beth will give our rose to either a cast member, it could be Chris Harrison, it could be a producer, it could be the luggage guy, it could be the limo guy.
Just like the
guest,
MVP of the episode.
Yeah, our personal favorite person on this episode. Beth, I'm still wrestling, so I want you to go first on this.
I'm also wrestling a little bit.
I thought you said you knew.
Okay, well, I am going to give the MVP of the episode to... I'm actually debating between 2 people. I think I'm gonna...
I thought you knew.
Well, I thought I did too, but now I'm feeling conflicted.
Do I need to go first?
Do you have your person?
I'm just deciding.
Okay.
I had a pool of 4 people. I was between Brendan, Zach C, Jason, and Chris Harrison. But I'm just going to pick the easy pick. I'm giving my rosebud of the week to Chris Harrison.
I knew it.
For his scooter moment.
He deserves that moment.
I need more scoot.
I'm gonna give mine to Ben, actually.
For the dance?
Not even just for that, but like he was the person I felt like I most saw a completely different side of, and the one that I'm really excited to see more of.
Yeah, I'm excited to see more of him. I don't think we got enough of him this episode.
For the dance, and also like just his facial expression for when Tayshia first walked in is replaying on a loop in my head for some reason. So that's who I'll give it to. But I was thinking about Brendan as well, because
I mean, why not? He's
solid.
So cute.
Yeah. I mean,
in all ways.
Or Bennett, for his fashion.
His huge. He's
but
like
I can't give it to him.
That goes without saying.
That's like Claire giving Dale every rose,
Yeah, it just goes without saying. Okay, let's move on to our next segment. Will you accept this recommendation? Do you have yours ready?
Yeah, I do actually.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm recommending Celsius energy drinks.
You always recommend something to eat.
I know, or drink. Yeah, I do, but that's the majority of what I do. So
you give good recommendations for that though.
Here's the thing: the Celsius energy drinks, they taste great. 0 sugar, but like not sketchy ingredients. Like it's all natural, and they have sparkling versions, and then they also have like, how like Arizona green tea tastes.
No, because I don't like tea.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, not like cold tea even?
Mm-mm.
Oh, wow. Well, it's kind of like if you've ever had an Arizona tea. It's kind of like that taste, and they're all really good. And I've been drinking them like every couple days because I've just been very busy and needing some extra boost.
You're a woman on the go.
Yeah. So I drank one, I drank one at like 4 today, and then I worked out after
when
that.
The slump happens.
Yeah, and I had really good energy, but I was not all jittery and like feeling like I was gonna jump out of my skin. So that's why I would recommend them.
We are not sponsored by Celsius energy
I
drinks.
wish. I'll try to not recommend a food or a drink next week.
No, I like it. You have a clear brand.
Yeah, that's what I'm going
I'm not
through
shading
right now.
you're consistent.
Food, drinks, TV shows.
Okay.
That's all I recommend.
Mine has a little bit of a story behind it. So Cam and I had a conversation today about laughing. And I'm naturally like a nervous laugher. Like I laugh to fill space sometimes, like when someone says something in conversation that they think is funny. And the reason this has a little bit of story behind it is during quarantine, I watched a show called Single Wives. I'm not going to explain the title of it. It features 4 women who have been married before and are now single. I'm not going to give any other explanation. I don't have time. This Netflix dating show also features Matthew Hussey, which is a very famous dating coach. I don't like stand behind him. Like he says some strange things sometimes, but on the show, he did do something that impacted me. He makes the women on the show watch like film of their dates, and he gives them feedback on the dates.
That's intense.
And one of the women did the same thing I do. She's like a nervous laugher, and she was laughing at everything, to like overcompensating. And he was like, "Why are you laughing at things that aren't funny? Even if they're trying to be funny, why are you laughing at things that aren't funny?" And he was like, basically, when you do that, you're giving that person a false sense of confidence, and you're basically lying to them, telling them that you think they're funny when they're really not. And it doesn't matter if the joke is, it matters more if the joke is inappropriate to not laugh at it, but it could apply to both. It could apply to an appropriate joke or inappropriate joke. So Cam and I were talking about laughing today, and I said, I think it's really important to not laugh at things that are not funny to you, regardless if they're inappropriate or non-appropriate, because let's not lie to people and tell them that they're funny if they're not funny.
Yeah, or even just misrepresent your own sense of humor.
Yeah. So my recommendation for this week is don't laugh at things that aren't funny.
Is that why you don't laugh at me?
I do laugh at you. I think you're very funny.
Nervous laughter.
I do think that Nate is is one of the funniest people I've ever met. Your husband, Nate.
Really?
Yeah.
Funnier than me?
But I don't even laugh out loud at him a lot.
Yeah. I think actually that is something that I appreciate about you is you really don't laugh a lot. Like, I know that sounds...
When I do, it counts.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like a cackle.
Like, I feel like I have to try pretty hard to make you laugh.
I have a pretty continuous internal laughter. Like, I still think things are...
Internally, you're like, hee 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 hee.
Yeah, but it does take a lot for me to laugh out loud unless I'm, like, nervous. So take it as me being comfortable, because...
I laugh at myself more than anyone else. Like
I laugh at myself, too, and I love it.
My own jokes.
Yeah. No, I do that, too.
And John Mulaney.
Yes. Cam thinks it's cringy that I laugh myself, but I think if anyone should be able to make you laugh, it should be you.
If you can't make yourself laugh, then what's this all been about?
You can't expect anyone else to.
If I can't scuba, what's this all been about?
That was funny. But yeah, my recommendation is don't laugh at things that aren't funny. And
that's a good recommendation.
Yeah, the end. I have more I can say on that, but I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
We want to note before we close that Beth and I love playing Among Us.
Yeah.
If you're interested in playing Among Us with us, it's a game. If you're not familiar with it, look it up. It's trending.
It's a very interesting culture.
Yes. If you're interested in playing Among Us with us, please message us on Instagram. Our Instagram handle is @CabbageBatchPod. We would love to jump on Discord with you guys and talk about Bachelor or anything while we play Among Us. That would be awesome.
So fun.
That's my dream.
Yesterday we were playing with some of Kara's friends we learned how to play Among Us hide and seek, which has taken the game to a whole other level that I didn't know was possible.
Heads up, Beth's really good. So,
do you actually think I'm really good?
You're better than me.
Really?
Although I get myself in trouble a lot because a lot of times I'm not the imposter and people think that I am.
I think if you talk too much or you don't talk enough, people will think you're the imposter.
That's why I just talk too much every time.
But then people think you're it every time.
Yeah, but then they're proven wrong and then they feel bad.
When Nate and I got imposter together, I was like, 100% we're winning.
Yes.
There's no way that we're not.
But we want to play with you guys. So if you're interested in playing as a little batch crew, Cabbage Batch crew, please message us on Instagram. Give us your username, your 4-digit gamer code, and we'll set up a
gamer code.
And we'll set up a time to maybe play as a group.
We play every day. I mean, not as a group every day, but like I play every day. Probably.
I don't play every day. I do play Animal Crossing every day.
I mean, I haven't played today, but that's because
ooh, side note: if you play Animal Crossing and you want to visit my island, shout out to me.
Shout out to myself and my island.
Yes. So with all that being said, make sure you're following us on Cabbage Batch Pod on Instagram
and on Twitter
@CabbageBatch_ Dang it, I messed it up again.
Oh no.
@Cabbage_Batch.
And then you can be one of our 10 followers.
Yes. And
subscribe to our podcast.
Yes, leave us a 5-star review.
Especially if you're at the end, as we've said many a time.
If you like this podcast.
If you literally listen to an hour and 42 minutes of us talking, you should definitely give us a review.
And it just makes us happy. And it's 2020. We all need more happiness. Lastly, we are starting to put out a little bit of video content on our YouTube channel.
Oh.
Like yesterday.
Oh, yeah. I thought it just went on our Instagram.
No, it went on our YouTube channel.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And we're not making any promises on like how much we'll be releasing on that channel. But if you want to...
if you just need to watch something, you can watch that.
We're there. But that's all we have for you today, guys.
Nice.
This was a great episode.
Yeah, solid episode, solid discussion. There was a lot of good developments that have gone on.
A lot more depth.
Yeah, and I'm really excited to see where this journey goes.
Yeah, I feel hopeful.
Man, I'm going to declare this week the week of hope.
Yes! I 100% agree. This week has been the week of hope.
Declare...
hope.
Lots of Office references tonight. If you don't watch The Office, you gotta watch it.
You're not in on this.
I almost made another one, but I did not think anyone was gonna get
it. The scuba joke always gets me.
Yeah, but I almost made even another one I just watched the episode where Michael and Jan and the other guy go to Chili's for the business meeting.
Oh yeah.
So I have like a lot of fresh references from that.
Well, thanks for listening, everyone.
Yeah, as always, it has been a pleasure.
A thrill. And we'll talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon. Have a good week.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.